You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast, episode 75. I'm your host, N64 Josh, my co-host and sparring partner, Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. We also got Leo. What's happening?
Hey.
And special guest tonight, talking King DDD, none other than Patrick Murphy. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Hey, so glad to have you. All right, guys. Well, hey, before we get into this, if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Console Wars or Ready Player One. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPSeat. If you go to n64josh.com/OPSeat, you'll automatically save $10 at checkout. And if you would like to get yourself a Just Roll t-shirt, because is there any better advice in Smash than Just Roll? I don't think so. Head on over to n64josh.com/store. With that, let's get to the announcements. All right, so we just had the Smash Bros. Cast tournament last weekend. It was a ton of fun. Pretty good turnout. Guys, this next one is going to be in May, obviously, but it's going to be May, the first weekend in May, I believe, instead of the second, because I'm going to be out of town. So I'm going to double check the calendar, but I know for sure it's not going to be the second Saturday. Okay, it may be the first or the third. I just want to give you guys heads up. Once I get it set up, you will know. You'll be able to sign up, and yeah, make sure to come out for that, because it was a really good time last Saturday. Like, top 8 was amazing. We got to see some ice climber stuff, but we'll get into it. So with that, we're gonna jump on into tournament news. Prime Saga was this last weekend, and we have a link to the results. Crawler, why don't you go ahead and take it away from here?
My stuff is frozen right now.
Got you. Okay, so I think his name is Shuton. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. I didn't hear anybody pronounce his name, but he took first. Zachary was number 2, Light 3, Nairo 4, Ally 5, T 5, Tweak 7, and MK Leo 7. Okay. Now, worth noting that Shuton, if I'm saying his name again, if I'm not, forgive me. You guys can tweet at me and tell me I'm saying it wrong. But I believe he reset the bracket. I think it was kind of.
I think it was the other way around.
The other way around?
Yeah, Zachary reset the bracket.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Anyway, regardless, it was not an easy first and second. They went for it. they really went for it. So, really good stuff there. And couple things worth noting. Leffen on stream needed to input his name, and the Switch he was on had Salem's name at the bottom, and that is the name that he deleted, and then got a little kick out of that. So, it was there's a clip floating around Reddit if you guys want to see it. Pretty funny. It was quite comical. So, did anybody catch any of the action from? I caught very little other than seeing just the some of the highlights.
Yeah, just a little bit for me. I didn't even see any of the top 8, but I think I saw a few matches leading up to top 8. Got you.
Okay. And then there was also another tournament, Hunters and Pirates. You got it up there in front of you now, Crawler?
Not yet, but so the Sagas, we talked about it a little bit last week. They're kind of special themed events. So this was obviously for the Metroid franchise. So their special event was for main players that play characters out of the Metroid series. So this was, I'm pretty sure this was their special tournament, and so there's a top 8 that we have. I believe this was just kind of single elimination based on how the top 8 numbers come out, but I still don't have it up in front of me, so if you want to go over it.
Oh, here we go. Euphoric Weasel is in chat here saying Zachary sent Shuton to losers, then Shuton beat him in grands with a reset. So
okay,
yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I saw. It was like they played a lot of matches, so I was like, wow, that was crazy. So, and I saw some video of him holding up the trophy and stuff. So, okay, yeah. So then, Hunters and Pirates, you're saying we have Mars took number 1, Shu, shout out to Colorado. Is that what I'm seeing there? Crawler, is that your boy? Shu, yes, no. Did they lose me? Apparently they can't hear me. Overlaid took 3rd. Samsora also 3rd. Esam 5. Juice 5. Pink Menace 5. And looks like Lewis 5. So then we had our Smash Bros. Cast.
It was fun.
Tournament. Okay, you guys are still there. Just making sure. I don't know if we lost Crawler. We may have lost. He may be frozen solid in time right now. So, we're doing it live, but we're still going. We're still going here. So
I'm here.
Oh, he's back. Okay, he's back. He just froze for a minute there. We've been having technical difficulties.
New computers coming hopefully this week.
We've been having technical difficulties all night. This is our we've been attempting to go live for about an hour, so bear with us here. The Smash Bros. Cast tournament. NPG, new face. He took the number 1 spot with a Lucas that was just dirty.
Untouched.
It was crazy.
He was wild.
Apollo took 2nd and had a slew of characters to play. He played as Ice Climbers for a while. He played Pokemon Trainer. I think he may have pulled out a fox or a wolf. I mean, it was
wolf.
It was just character after character with this guy. It was crazy. And then Weasel, Fork Weasel from chat. What's up, buddy? He took 3rd. Draco took 4th. Leo 5th. There you go. Nosewipe also 5th. Icy 7th, and Ghost 7th. So there you go. It was a lot of great matches. Really fun to watch. Like, everybody was pretty hyped throughout the tournament. It was a good time. So make sure to turn out for the next one, because we would really like to have you. And as far as our upcoming tournaments, Crawler, you got these ones?
Yeah. So this upcoming weekend is Pound 2019, and this, I believe, is in Maryland. And it's going to be this weekend, 19th through the 21st. It's going to have Ultimate and Melee singles and doubles, and then Ultimate Squad Strike. And as of this afternoon, when I was rating this, it's sitting at 1,250 or 1,250 attendees, and it's going to be on all 3 VG Bootcamp channels this weekend on Twitch.
Cool. And we have links to those in the show notes, which can be found at n64josh.com/SBC75. So, as far as like Smash news, there's really not been anything. We're still waiting for update 3.0.
Waiting.
Jonesing.
Yeah, just really wondering what.
We only got 15 more days left in the month, so we're T-minus 2 weeks. So we should know something.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Did we talk about the stage builder? I think we did. That was last week. Yeah.
Did we? Was that after or was that before?
I don't recall, because I do too many.
We can
podcasts.
Let's talk about it real quick then.
So Nintendo put out a trailer for Smash that leaked the stage builder. I personally think it was on purpose. I think it was a marketing ploy just to get people hyped and talking about stuff. There was stage builders in the past with some of the other games, I believe, but I'm not super familiar with it. And
I think Brawl was the first. Yeah, the first one. And there wasn't a good way, because I was listening to NVC from IGN this afternoon. I was getting caught up on some of my podcasts, and they were talking about this a little bit as well. And so Nintendo didn't offer any kind of like stage sharing at all in Brawl. So like IGN hosted some where people could upload their stages and stuff. And then I think you could share stages in Wii U in Smash 4. But hopefully we'll have some good, like, I've been talking with some of my friends that are in the Colorado scene, and we're all kind of excited. Like, if like Smash and Splash wants to make their own custom stage and make it legal for their tournament or something like that, and then it can just be uploaded and named, and then every system that's utilized at that tournament and people before they come can log in and download it and practice on it. So that way you can have some of the more unique setups that maybe aren't quite legal stages, like WarioWare, because of how small those blast zones are. But you want to have that unique platform setup, then you can kind of create your own custom stages and then make it tournament legal for your tournament, which could be cool.
Got it. So, Patrick Murphy, any thoughts on the stage builder? You going to be jumping in there and just going Minecraft style on this thing?
It was I kind of got my fill in Brawl. It was, when it came out for Brawl, it was fun. It was do casually with friends and just mess around and make some crazy stuff. It was just a good time. I'll probably mess around with it in an Ultimate. Probably not as much on the competitive side, but whenever you want to get together with some friends, throw some items on or whatever, it'll be fun. Got
you. Leo, you planning on building much?
Probably not. I didn't really mess with it in Brawl or Wii U. It'll be a cool thing to add for the casual scene, but competitively, and I'm probably not going to touch it.
Got you. All right. Well, real quick before we get into, we're going to do a character breakdown of King DDD. I kind of just want to talk about our last week with Smash and a few things that kind of, some of the things that my kind of takeaways for the week. And I want to give Crawler some props. His Palutena is really coming along. We played a handful of matches after the Smash Bros tournament, and I had to completely mix up my approaches to try to get in and get damage dealt, and it was a good lesson for me just to kind of again slow down, be patient. I haven't been playing Smash as much as I had been the past the past month or whatever, and so I almost feel like every time I'm getting on, I'm kind of knocking the cobwebs loose and stuff. I did jump into quick play. Messed around in there for a while. My last match was against a Little Mac on the Spirit Track stage that was normal stage, so that train is just cruising along, and I literally, the first kill I got, I just did a forward throw at a very low percent, and he hit the tracks and died. And nice. I was like, this is what you get. Why would you pick this? This is what you get, so I got a kick out of that. But the thing that I've kind of been working on is, and we can kind of discuss this a little bit, but I can get very heavy-handed with my movements, and when that happens, I end up getting misinputs or no inputs. Actually, is what tends to be the case. So, for instance, if I get an up air, a grab to an up throw, up air, and then try to throw the fair. And I've mentioned it on here before, but I really need to focus on flicking that stick to throw the fair, because that's what I've been using mostly as the C stick for a lot of those attacks. And I leave stocks on the table because I think there's a little bit of some adrenaline that's going on when it's oh, I finally got the second up air hit. It's time for the stock. And then it doesn't end up hitting because I don't end up just hitting that precise movement and kind of flicking that stick where it needs to go. And so where are you guys at on that? Did you ever run into that? Is that something that you had to make any adjustments in your gameplay, kind of lab things out and just get better about those more precision movements and hitting those, just kind of flicking that stick versus just kind of being real heavy-handed and then actually missing inputs? Patrick, how about you? You got anything?
Yes and no. I mean, for me with DDD, he's not very much precision character. He kind of likes a little bit of a rough and tumble. But I take that back, because if ever I want to do the gimmicky stuff, that's something where I got to be a little patient. I got to dial it back a little bit. I got to jump in the lab and whatnot. But when I jump in for other characters and I want to learn combos, DDD is not a combo character. Whenever I want to learn combos, I'll try to test my patience.
Got you. Leo, how about you? Like, did you ever have a point where you were like feeling like you had to just dial it back and really kind of work on that precision movement?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this the other time I was on, but when I had played AV, shout out to AV Beyond the Metagame, he had kind of corrected something that I had been doing wrong, and also gave me advice on what to do in order to even just give more pressure. Sent me a video of some pros playing, and it actually really helped. I think I kind of showed that a little bit at the tournament on Saturday, but just sometimes there's a time for going up and giving that pressure, and there's a time for laying back, and it's kind of really just all reading your opponent and seeing what they're going to do. Sometimes, if like for you, Josh, your thing that you mention all the time is that you're kind of an aggro play style, like you're going to come after me because that's, you know, what you've done in your past fighting games. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's people that literally will sit in camp and try to get you attacking shield, and a lot of the times, even for me, that works, but sometimes you need to just dial it back. Sometimes you need to go for it. So it's something that I've been working on. It's still a work in progress.
Yeah, got you for sure. Crawler, how about you? Like, anything for this week, or have you noticed anything with your just trying to really focus on your precision movements with your controller?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Palutena, I mean, I've only done a little bit this week. I know I talked last week on the show that I hadn't taken Palutena into quick play yet, and then I did that immediately after the show and got very tilted and frustrated, and went super low in my GSP score. And there were things that were exploited against me, and patience not exercised. And then I caught kind of that gambler's addiction to try to go back and earn my score back, and it just ended up getting worse. I think I played a Ganondorf like 5 or 6 times that I shouldn't have played, and I should have walked away. But I have noticed, like last week when we played around with Rami and Mr. Cool Red, that I mean, I was maybe not finishing the game, but I was feeling more confident against those players that had historically just taken my lunch money. And then with having not really played since Monday or Tuesday of this past week, playing on Saturday, it felt really comfortable, and I think it was just kind of a refresh, and it's understanding kind of that explosive flame, kind of working on that distance sometimes, because it's either a flick or just a push of the directional for side B for that, and that dictates how far explosive flame goes. So that's kind of something I've been working on understanding that distance, but also being consistently throwing if I want the far or the close explosive flame. So just kind of working on that.
Got you. Very good. Okay, well, I think we're gonna jump into our character breakdown here. I think Patrick Murphy is a little bit excited here. I think he's just a little excited to talk about King DDD here. So let's just start. We're gonna start with neutral game. What can we expect from King DDD?
So with neutral, the big thing that is the Gordo. A lot of people like to talk about the Gordo. I'll throw it out. Oftentimes, my neutral is dependent on my opponent, the character that I'm playing as. If I'm playing against a Bowser or a Ganon or a Mario or the majority of the characters, I will use the Gordo not just as a projectile. I'll use that more sparingly. I'll use that to get in closer to set up different kind of things. I'll get to that in a second. There are other characters that I cannot use the Gordo because it's going to fling back at me in a way that I don't have enough time to react with an inhale or a shield. I can't do it against your Falcos, against your villagers. A lot of characters that have projectiles that zip it back at you. But the Gordo, if you're just picking up the DD, if this is your first time with the DD, there are several ways to throw the Gordo. So it's not just side B. A few frames after you hit the side B, you can either flick up, you can flick down, flick forward, or just let it go. And that will determine the direction that your Gordo is going to bounce. So that alone will force your opponent to move into a separate direction. And you can be set up with a forward smash or a forward tilt or a down tilt or something, so that way when your opponent is dodging the Gordo, you can hit them with the next spot. Throw the Gordo in another direction. You got them. You constantly have them chasing. Where's he going to throw the Gordo? How am I going to negate this? DDD is a little bit of a ledge trap. He's going to try to get you on the move you to the edge as quickly as he can, and just give you the hardest time that you possibly can to get back up, because he doesn't have the strongest neutral. He's big, he's fat, he's slow, he's a huge target. He's got lots of jumps, but he doesn't have a ton of aerial speed, so he's just kind of bouncing around, and it's easy to pick him up and combo. So it's important to see the characters where you got to space out against and get them to the edge as quickly as you can, and do not let them come back as best you can. Your tilts are going to be your friends as well. Your down tilt, that's when after he rolls over. That's kind of like a get off me move. We've talked about how DDD can't just be combo food. He is. If you're going to pick up DDD, you got to understand you're going to be combo food. People are going to be eating you, and you got to be able to take that. Use that F tilt, use the up tilt. Those are all get away from me. Use the inhale, get away from me. I'd say that's it's largely dependent on the character, but I'd say that's starting.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, but as far as approach tools, you mentioned Gordo. Is there anything else that you like to use when you're trying to get in, get things started?
Yeah. Depending on the spacing, if it's not Gordo, I'll be throwing up F tilts, especially. That's a move that comes out relatively quickly, at least for DDD, a slow character, and it has good spacing on it. So between those things and leading your opponent on with how many jumps am I going to take before I land, I'm going to hit you with the fair. I'm going to hit you with the bear. I'm going to hit you with the nair. Because he can hover, even though he's got a very laggy, slow aerial speed, and he has a hard time getting back to stage, he does have a lot of good aerial. The bear pushes people away. The nair is going to be the neutral air. Sorry, the neutral air is going to be a good tool for people to use because it's the quickest that comes out for DDD. Play around in the air as much as you can. If your opponent catches onto you, go onto the ground. Use your F tilts and your down tilts. Use your inhales. Use your Gordos. Use everything you can to push them toward the ledge.
And DDD has a secret weapon on quick play because he's got a ton.
DDD has several tons. So of course, if you played me, if you see me play, if you crouch down, specifically if you're facing right and you crouch down, lay down, beautiful animation. You could do a run back and forth, and it kind of looks like he's dancing. There's tons of fun stuff you could do with the DD. And you know what? To that point though, for real, when I picked up the DD in Brawl, he was a very different kind of character. He was much more of a grappler. His chain grab was king. He's changed a lot, but the reason why I stuck with him was, I've come accustomed to his personality, and I lean into that personality when I play. And so I mostly play for the lulz, to be honest with you. But if I'm of the opinion where if you lean into your character's like character and you learn to have fun with that, you're gonna be have more fun, but you're gonna be able to have more wins. That's my personal philosophy.
I like it. I like it. Now, you mentioned that he doesn't have much as far as combos. Is there anything worth noting?
Yeah, there's going to be some stuff, and like any character, it's on your opponent. But for low percents, you can get a grab, down throw into forward air, down throw into up air, especially for your lower percents. It's worth noting that DDD's grab is one of the longest in the game, one of the longest non-tethers. Not your Links, not your Samuses or whatever. But he's got a good-sized grab. They nerfed it since Brawl, but, we take those nerfs. Let's see.
I think you need to be nerfed.
As far as other, he's not going to be your combo character. You might be able to string some combos together if your opponent isn't paying attention, but he's going to be more of a character where you're constantly trying to play a little bit of mind games, where you're constantly trying to do setups and traps where they can't avoid the Gordo, and so they got to do this other option, and you're already there, prepared a few frames ahead.
Let's talk finishers then. What are some of his finishers?
So, once you got him off stage, again, getting him off stage is going to be your key. Once you got him off stage, he's got an arsenal of aerial attacks where you can. Fair is going to be good. Your back air is going to be. That's a bread and butter. Your back air. It's been consistently so. Since Brawl, since we've Smash 4, even though it's changed from time to time, back air is going to be a key. He does have a spike for there. That's more for fun, to be completely honest with you. I think it's one of the hardest spikes to hit in the game. It's like a frame 18 or something like that, and you got to sweet spot it. So getting them off the edge, hitting them with your aerials. He does kill early as well too if they are on. It's just that those forward smashes and down smashes, they're incredibly slow. Down smash is going to be your fastest one that comes out, and forward smash is actually the strongest smash move in the game. Forward smash move in the game, only second to Link. So you can, read your opponent. If they're going to be susceptible to falling into one of your smashes, throw it out. If you can finish them off stage, go for that. Set up traps when they're at the edge. Throw out a Gordo, do an up Gordo so that it just slowly bounces on, so that way you're forcing them to get up at the time that you mandate. So you're really in control of that. And my personal favorite. If you can get them off the edge and inhale them, that's always your go-to. That's always your go-to. Especially, if you're a stock or two ahead and you got your percentage high, just and it's over.
I'd rather not talk about this.
You know what? Someone did ask earlier in chat. Your down B. Yeah, it is. It's. I wouldn't classify that as a kill move. It will kill, but your down B isn't really, to be honest, good for anything. It's slow. It's not as strong as any of your smash attacks. The good thing they've buffed since Smash 4 is that it now is a shield break when it's full. You can move around with it. Honestly, if you want to use the Jet Hammer, it's when you got a shield break or you're just trying to get style points. That's really all that's for, which is a lot of DDD.
He's all about style.
Well, because you can edge guard, right? If you jump off stage and you can Gordo like at the ledge grab point, right? and it'll stick into the stage?
Yeah. So the Gordo stick is not a guarantee. So what the Gordo stick is if you see your opponent coming back, and if you're able to hit your Gordo right at the edge of the stage, then it'll stick there. I don't know for how long, how many seconds, or how many frames, but it'll stick there. So that way, if they're able to jump back up onto stage, that it'll hit them, and it's like forcing them off again. There's some cool setups where you could do it's all gimmicky, where you can hit them on the stage and then do a down air spike. There's other things where you can hit them from a Gordo from the top platform, and if you hit behind them, you're going to hit them right into your up air. So I mean, there's gimmicky stuff. I don't really go for the Gordo spike just because it's never a guarantee. You can't always know that it's going to land. But if you want to show off, go for it.
Up 2 stocks, having fun, showboating, go for it.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, if you're in that position, and especially, that's DDD. DDD is a character who's self-proclaimed king, and he wants you to know it. And even when he loses, it doesn't register in his head. He's just like, no, I'm King DDD, So yeah, I mean, have fun with it. And you know what? Even in competitive play, sometimes if I know the person, or even if on rare occasions, if I do want to specifically tilt them, I'll go for it. But that's not often.
Let's talk a little more about edge guarding. We talked about that Gordo. What else? Anything else that you're going to be doing with him after somebody's off stage?
Your fairs and your bears, your forward airs and your back airs. Those are bread and butter. Because he has so many hops to not only get you go pretty far out, but I mean they're pretty powerful hits, and he has that up B where he can return pretty. I mean, he's a character that can go off stage, do a directional air dodge, still have a couple hops and an up B ready to go. So he does have that advantage. Something I should say for the beginners out there with using that up B, if you're returning to stage and your opponent is on stage, you're probably going to get hit just because it's very predictable. But what you can do to mix it up a little bit, it's not going to help a ton. You can cancel the landing by flicking up, not right before you land, but a little bit before that. That'll reduce your landing lag time, not a ton, but it will help a little bit. If you botch that and you do it too close to the actual landing time, that's the longest landing lag in the entire game. So if you're new to the DD, get practice down that up B getting back on the stage.
Will the stage ledge grab cancel up B if you slide up stage?
Say that again?
Will you snap to the ledge if you slide up the stage with up B? Will it cancel that?
So yeah. So if you up B, you'll snap to the ledge every time as long as you're constantly up. However, on the descent, if you're ever descending down, there's a few frames right at the tippy top where he will snap onto the ledge. But usually, what you want to do is before you start to descend down, you want to flick it up so that way you will do the cancel and then grab the ledge on your way down.
Got it. Okay, let's talk, and we're kind of talking about it right now. But let's talk about a little about recovery. Sounds like he's got some of the best recovery in the game.
Yeah, he does. He does and he doesn't, because it's the offstage is playground. He has a ton of tools to kill you legit, or to take stock by an inhale, or to take you by an up B and hitting down on you. Yeah, all of those things. So and he can get back to the stage pretty easily. And it also helps that he's the third heaviest in the game, tied with Donkey Kong. So he's got all those advantages. The only disadvantage is that actually returning to stage, if your opponent is on the stage and if you're in a disadvantaged state, then It's a super predictable recovery. He has a really hard time getting back on the stage because he lags so much. He's big, he's slow. So you're going to have to, if you're trying to get back on stage, throw out a Gordo, see if you can grab the ledge, hop down for a second and throw an up air. Sometimes it's going to be enough to get your opponent to knock it off. You can jump up and throw a Gordo. You can do a lot of things, but it's just that getting to the stage itself is not a problem. It's just that your opponent is going to be able to punish pretty easily.
I would imagine like Roy, Lucina, like Marth, those fares falling off stage are probably pretty devastating.
They are. It really depends on the situation. The other is that if I have a Roy coming at me from off stage with a fair, and if I already know that my opponent is doing that, I have so many hops, I can throw out my fair and hit him pretty far away from the stage and still come. So I can counter that and just make it, make the offstage gameplay, fair game all around. But I'm a big target. And if you see me off stage and if you're Roy, yeah, you should try to knock me out as best you can, because once I come back, boy, woohoo!
Is your up B vulnerable? So if you're in the process of doing up B, coming up from ledge, can that Roy come off and hit you with the fair and it'll cancel your up B?
There is super armor, but it's not consistent across the board. I haven't done this, but I know that it was a lot stronger. It feels like it was a lot stronger in Smash 4, but there are super frame armors. Like, for example, if I do the Gordo stick onto the wall, I can actually jump back up through the Gordo and just power through it. I'll take the damage, but I will jump back onto it. But if you hit DDD from the side, that's going to be a good way to hit him when he's in that animation, especially when he's on his way down. Down is going to be safer than when he's in the up.
Got it. And we've had, guys, you've probably noticed the mic's been cutting in and out just a little bit, so just bear with us. It's just, for some reason tonight it's just Discord and everything else. So the last couple things, are there particular stages you don't want to play with King DDD?
I mean, yes, but I think that's more me personally than anything else. I'm not a big battlefield in Ultimate, just because I feel like I need some space to move. I need some space to get my groove on. Those plats are just a little too close for me personally. I think that's more of a personal thing, But he's a character where if I'm playing against one of my harder matchups, typically somebody with a fast projectile, a Falco, a Villager, whatever, I'm FD right off the get-go. Otherwise, FD is fine. Final Destination is fine for me. Pretty much, I'm pretty much okay with most stages. Yeah.
The last thing to cover is just what are those bread and butter moves that you're gonna go to regularly, that and maybe there are even some things that need to be practiced, but once you get them down, you're gonna love this character.
Yeah, so practice all four directions of throwing your Gordo. Gordo up, I tend to throw Gordo up most frequently, just because that allows you different sense of controlling the stage. If you could control the position of your Gordo and how people are going to perceive where you're going to throw next, you'll be ready to go. But also be prepared, because I think nearly any attack in Smash Bros will be able to throw that Gordo back at you. You don't need a reflector. You don't need anything like that. Be ready for the Gordo to come back with you. Hold up shield, hold up inhale, do whatever you need to do. So practice all four directions of your Gordos. practice your fairs, your forward airs and your bears. Whether if that is in the neutral, that could be a good neutral tool if you practice your spacing enough. It's a great tool for getting people off stage. There is a ton of resources for, if you can look up on YouTube, look up like DDD edge trapping. If you don't know what edge trapping is, it'll have a good explanation of forcing your opponent when they're coming back to stage and trying to get back on, what you can do to force them into the exact position where they don't have a choice and you're going to hit them with whatever option you can. Let's see, get comfortable with that grab game, just because he does have a nice long grab to be able to use. Like I said, if you don't like being comboed, this might not be your character. You gotta be ready to go and be like, once you start getting comboed by a Fox or a Mario or whatever, you just gotta gobble it up. You just gotta be like, this is my jam. I want more. You take that kind of abuse sometimes.
I want more.
Yeah, you do, because you're gonna get it with. There's a reason why he's not considered very high tier. It's because he's combo food. Be ready for that. Be ready to play mind games with people. Be ready to lean in with the character. Have fun with him. Use that down crouch, as much as you can to let people know who's the king of Dreamland. He's just a great character. And you know what I would also say as well, even if you're a casual fan, he's a great character to practice your cheap tricks, your offstage inhales, your up B spikes and things like that when you're playing with your friends and you want to show them who's boss or whatever. You can do the gimmicky stuff too, but he's legit. I know I've been talking him up as far as his more gimmicky stuff, but have fun with him, get in the aerial game, get in people's heads, and just embrace the dreamland.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we've played a lot of matches, right? We've played a lot of matches, and it's like my goal playing against you is is not to get hit, right? That's the goal, because it doesn't take too many hits, and all of a sudden it's game over. And I love those moments where it's like you'll throw the Gordo, I'll cape it, you'll spit it at me, I'll cape it, you'll spit it. And it's just the back and forth, just waiting who's gonna have the first misinput that the Gordo's gonna hit, so
yeah, I mean, he's silly, so have fun with that, because he's a character and I firmly believe that to a personality of your character, you're not only going to have more fun, you're going to embrace what makes them a great character.
Got it.
I mean, like you, Josh, right? With Mario, I know you have a great affinity for Mario, and you lean into the woohoo and all that stuff, right? And that amps your game, right?
Well, I typically just do that when I'm playing Mario Kart, but But I get what you're saying. I'm actually thinking about shaving the beard, just having the mustache, maybe working on getting some nose work done, kind of just really changing the way. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take it that
pull
far.
out some overalls.
Yeah, we're gonna go full Mario here. Pit rate in chat says, "Dear Lord." I'm gonna end up on like one of those like Believe It or Nots, or what I'm talking about, like. Oh man. Never go full Mario, Pit says. I don't actually, if you guys need something terrifying, Google what Mario would look like as an actual human, and it is scary.
Yeah,
it is so scary. That. Yeah, so scary. So, all right. Well, hey, that's going to do it. Patrick Murphy, where can people find you?
Probably on Twitter. Patrick Murphy 09. I'm in the on it as much as I should be, but send me a message there if you. I'm always down to throw down. So yeah.
And he what he said was the Discord because it just cut out this darn microphone. So, Leo, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can catch me in the Discord also at Leo Veritas, and I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and because of real life problems, we didn't get to start our pod like we wanted to, but it's going to be starting this week, which is Gathering of Bros, and we should have a Twitter up soon.
Cool. And Crawler, where can we find you?
Just like everybody else, hanging out in the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord gets the invite. There's still games going on, lots of Mario Kart, some Savage Mario Kart if you like playing Mario Kart as well. But there's still plenty of Smash Bros going on. And then new PC hopefully is coming this week, so I'm going to try to overhaul some of the stuff on the stream. So twitch.tv/Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E. And then also on Twitter as well. And you can see King Boo savagely run into Mario on the track if you go to my Twitter.
Dude, that tweet's got enough traction. You're gonna have to drop your SoundCloud soon, I think. Guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, all the places, it's at N64Josh. Hey, I'm doing a giveaway right now, $50 eShop card. If you go to n64josh.com/giveaway, you can check out the details there. If you would like to check out the music video for the song you're hearing right now, it's the Metal Melee theme. You can go to n64josh.com/Metal Melee. You want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. Guys, there are all kinds of resources in the show notes, different videos, things like that, how to find your local scene, all that stuff. n64josh.com/SBC75. Patrick, thank you so much for being here. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you in the next episode. Bye now.